So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Moon in the 10th house in the sign of Sagittarius for Pisces ascendant people, as in what happens when Moon is in the 10th house in the sign of Sagittarius, while it rules the 5th house with the sign of Cancer. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this particular position, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the astrological details. For that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my consultation that is back, which is 2021 reading, because I had a major, backlog with that. So finally, I was able to clear that a couple of weeks ago. So I'm finally bringing that back because you guys have been asking for that one. So anyway, Moon in the 10th house in the sign of Sagittarius. So one thing you will notice with this particular moon is that after the birth of your child, you most definitely attain praises from your superiors and you even got a promotion if you're at that particular age. And usually I see people love to attain higher education in fields of management, strategies, okay? And even sometimes they love to go for forensic accounting. Like their work and their education really truly do collide. Like what they study is what they do, because most of the time, even when I'm doing readings, I'm seeing that somebody did work in civil engineering, yet now they're in IT, or now somebody from engineering suddenly wants to go and become a doctor. I mean, you guys are like geniuses, I couldn't even do like 1/4 of what you're trying to accomplish. So that's what happens here is like the education leads to the professional status, but the status of profession has to be actually intellectual. This person wants to be in an intellectual environment, and actually, I've actually come across a couple of placement with this where either a person became a theologian when like wanting to go into priesthood, and I have actually had a person who became a philosophy professor with this particular position. And naturally, this particular position, because fifth house is known as a Trikon house, 10th house is known as a Kendra house. So Trikon Lord in the Kendra does what? Raj Yoga. So it clearly gives a person status through their education. So, sometimes we hear a lot of people say, a lot of motivational speakers say, like, oh, you don't need education. You can make it. I made it. And I kind of used to believe that. But then, of course, when you dive into astrology, you realize some people actually do need education to succeed. They need formal education. They should go for that. And yes, in some cases, person who's trying to pursue that may not work, so well. And especially if you're, let's say, over the age of 50, 55, 60, then you will see, especially your children, when your first child got a job, okay, when your first child started working, either you retired comfortably or you got either a new opportunity or even a higher status in your career with this position. Now, of course, I'm discussing this moon position without any aspects, conjunction, malefic, benefic, regardless. I'm just talking about fifth lord in the 10th house. Now, if I was looking at fifth lord in the 10th house and receiving the aspect of Rahu and then receiving the aspect of Mercury, yes, those things will change. Certain dynamics of this moon, not all the way, but certain dynamics of this moon. But also one thing you see with this particular moon is that when an individual finds a career status, career distinction, they get into a fight within their home. It'll always be the case. Some issue within the home occurs when one gets a promotion or one, gets some higher distinction. And it can be obviously have a different wavelength. If let's say Jupiter aspects moon, then of course it's not going to be so much of that obstacle or fighting. But if moon is there by itself or if especially a malefic aspect, so that of course is going to irritate that energy. Like what usually happens here is that a person will get into a fight within the home due to certain accounting issue. Meaning, suddenly once they get a promotion, they find out, oh, their spouse spent all this money here. Or now their sibling is asking for this much money because they are, in a very tight situation. And those things kind of like, what happens with this moon is that with promotion, communication, you will say something, even though the situation is not so bad, related to the home, but you will say something that will create some kind of a conflict in the home that can like just burst into this wildfire. So whenever you're getting a higher distinction, you're getting a better job offer, watch what you say when some situation occurs at home, because that situation is not going to be big, but because of your communication, okay, because of that little bit of a OCD, it rises. So that's one thing. But like I said, I mean, it's nothing dramatic. It happens. And especially this is an individual who's going to be much more about wanting to work than spending time in their private life, because of the fact that intellectual mind is working 24/7. See, you got to understand, when somebody's just working, they'll work from 9 to 5, 9 to 7, 8 to 5, right? And this person is not doing that. They're working 24/7. Even while they're driving, while they're at home, they're going to be thinking about that problem, that issue. They're going to be strategizing about what needs to be done to accomplish that. It's like they just have this focus, this what do you call this, tunnel vision focus on that one thing. And also besides, certain educational career, yes, this person can also become a lawyer too, especially if either Saturn, Mars, or Jupiter impacts this moon. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is my analysis of moon in the 10th house for Pisces ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss these type of videos. If you want to know where your moon is placed and all your astrological details, including my constellations, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.